everybody. We are GFBS. We're Grand Forks' best source. If you're waiting for Dirty Thursday, well, it's a little different today. Welcome to Snirty Thursday. All right, now if you're wondering where the Snirty comes in, okay, you throw in dirt and snow. It's Snert, right? That's what we call it. And if you've ever been to a snowmobile race, you notice by the end of the racing, they're usually racing on more dirt than they are snow. So, okay, Snirty Thursday. I don't have to slow down to repeat it, do I? On the show today, Chad and Cerissa Blessum for the 286th SnoRace Series. We'll be talking about them in just a couple of minutes here. Your show today, by the way, brought to you by your auto equipment experts. For all of your car equipment needs, check out Auto Equipment Experts in Grand Forks. They're an AC Delco distributor for auto parts and way more than that. They also sell and service all major brands of tire machines, wheel balancers, hoists, air compressors, and anything you need to stock your shop or for all you weekend warriors, your garage too. Locally and employee-owned, check them out. Auto Equipment Experts, 5036 10th Avenue South and North of Grand Forks. Or call 701-757-2500 or go to autoequipmentexperts.com. Auto Equipment Experts, they are open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Any questions or comments, feel free to call or text. 701-213-0863 is our phone number. And before we get too far into the show, it is time now for our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go. Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Of course, it's a snowmobile joke. And I might offend some people, but I don't care. How do you make a Polaris go fast? How do you make a Polaris go fast? Well, you tow it behind an Arctic cat. That's all I got. That's all I got. Welcome to the show. First, Cerissa Blessum. Am I saying your name right?
Yeah.
How are you?
Good.
Good. How old are you?
14.
Okay, I've been told by people that you're the GOAT in this series. You know what GOAT stands for, right? Mm-hmm. Greatest of all time?
Yep.
Okay.
That's me.
Okay. That's you. You're not afraid to tell people that, are you?
Nope.
What grade are you in?
8th.
And how long have you been racing?
5 years.
5 years. Okay. We're going to get back to you, so hold on. And across from me is Dad, Chad. How are you, man?
I'm great.
And thanks for coming on the show. And heads up and a shout out going out to Doogie for hooking me up with you guys. Doogie Hauser, we'll have him and the kid on the show too. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
I grew up with snowmobiles and dirt bikes.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I did a little bit of racing back in the day. And life kind of went on, and I've always been passionate about it. And we had a window here to get into what we're doing, and we kind of dove in head first, and that's where we are. You
know, you've got 2 daughters that race.
Yep.
And this is how I kind of looked at it. I don't know if you do, but when my son, he didn't race. It's too bad for him. He doesn't like some of the things I do, but he's a hockey player and a baseball player, and I was a hockey player. And what I looked at it is when I was on the road for all those years following him, it was kind of like reliving my youth a little bit. Do you ever think about it that way?
Yeah, people tell me all the time I am living through my kids. And
yeah.
I tell them absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny, you're 14, and your other daughter is how old?
17.
Okay. You're going to be amazed before you know it that they're gone.
Right.
I mean, that they are up and they're old and they're going to be gone. I never thought that when I was following my kid around when he was 14 years old, but he's 34 now and he's got another kid on the way. So enjoy it while you can. I know a lot of people, I got friends that have newborns, and I say, you will be surprised how fast your life will go now. And they never believe me until it's that time. But enjoy it while you can, because this is going to be a great ride for you. Getting back to the racing now, you've been racing, what do you say, 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay, 5 years. And I want to know a little bit about the 286 Snow Series. Why don't you tell us what this is? I mean, because you've got oval, you got snowcross, you've got cross country. There's numerous types of racing, but what is this series?
We are a very entry-level way to get into racing, for one, and snowcross is the direction that we headed with that, because that's something I've always enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And from us getting around and racing with different people, we kind of took note of everything that we might want to change and what we would like to see.
Mm-hmm.
And we were able to implement that in a way to where make it really easy for somebody that has the idea they want to get out and try it. you know, like without going to the bank and.
Right. And we're going to get to the money part of this here in a while. But now, you people that aren't too familiar with snowmobile racing, back when I started, it was either oval or cross country. And then they started thinking, well, you know, oval racing, you can get the fans. Cross country racing, you know, some of those races are 500 miles stretched over 3 days. You pick a spot somewhere on the trail and you sit in your car and you watch. Well, you're not going to make any money on concessions. You're not going to sell beer or coffee or hot chocolate or any of that thing. So they came up with the snowcross deal, which now is basically taken over. I mean, when you think about it, you're not going to see a cross-country race on television. You're not going to see any oval races on television, but you're probably going to see some snowcross racing on television. That's when they come into the stadiums and the ballparks and the racetracks. And it's great for everybody because you've got a little of each. I mean, it is basically in a circle, but it's like a motocross track, just snowcross. Have you ever been in any bad crashes?
Yeah.
Did you ever get hurt?
Yeah.
How bad?
Bad.
Breaking any bones? No, not yet?
Well, I have.
Yeah, just not on a sled?
Moto.
Yeah, moto.
Oh, that's right. You do motocross too, don't you? Oh, man, I wish that was you when I was growing up.
I tell them that all the time.
Yeah. What kind of motorcycle do you drive?
250 KTM.
Wow. Driving a 250.
She's been on that for a year or two now.
Two, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember when I was doing that stuff, I'd get on bikes that some of my older guys that I ran with. I mean, my feet didn't even touch the ground.
Yep.
But it'd still get on the road, go down a gravel road, 80 miles an hour, no helmet on. It is stupid. Now, with this series now, with the 286 series, this is for kids.
Yep.
And what are the age groups?
So we started out at 4 to 17, but we've saw a lot of kids at like 3 that are hanging around at the track that want to try it. Mm-hmm. And now this year we actually built what we call a Zoomy class for everybody brand new. You know, you got a 3-year-old out there that wants to try it. We kind of built it for that. Everybody that's green and brand new. Mm-hmm. So it's actually 3 up to 17 now.
Wow. That's crazy. 3 years old.
Yep.
Now, you know, back in the day, they had kitty cats.
Yep.
Now I think the smallest sled you get is a 120. I'm not sure. Okay. So do you have the different classes? I mean, not just age groups, but motor size and sled size.
Yep. So the 120, we have 3 or 4 different classes of that, and then you can take that chassis of that and put a bigger motor in to Briggs, like a 206 they call it. And we have 3 or 4 different classes for that, and then they have a Champ, which is another division of this chassis. And then you get into the 200.
Okay.
And then we have that stock, and then we built what is an outlaw class, which a lot of people run a 200 or 120 in. And that's like a dad builder class. You can hop them up however you want and just go crazy.
So what is the biggest class that somebody would race in this 286 series?
That would be your 14 to 17 group. That's on a 600 wide open. Everything is full tilt.
Okay, now are these factory snowmobiles or can you tweak them at all?
Well, we keep them factory. We try to follow up with ISR. We're not ISR sanctioned, but we want to follow up with what other people are doing so they can come race with us.
So no not modifying motors. What about shocks, things like that?
Yeah, you can do your normal shock work. And we did build 2 classes for the guys that want to bring like an older snowmobile that we don't have a rule set for.
Oh, yeah.
And then a little more seat time. So we built like what we call an open class so that people can, you know, run what you brung and still get there and try it out. And
you know, I was looking at the Facebook page or social media here earlier today. I saw something about rental sleds. Explain that to me.
So that is another thing we run into. Our biggest goal is getting people into it and trying without having all the expense of it. So what we saw is a lot of people, 120s are hard to come by, 200s are hard to come by. And we figured why not have a rental? That would be a perfect way to come out, try it, and see if you like it. And with the 120, if you come with one from home that you think is ready, it's not.
Okay, yeah.
So this one is fully race prep, so you can get out there and you don't have 12 guys ahead of you and you think they're cheating. It's just, I took the time to go through it and something that's competitive.
You know, that makes so much sense. I know with the Forks Karting Association here in Grand Forks, I know at the end of the nights on Wednesdays, there's a few people that will let people get in the karts because you always want to keep the sport growing. You want to keep people coming. Now, if somebody gets on this rental sled and they turn some hot laps or whatever they do, if they decide, okay, I want to get into this, say you got a 4-year-old who wants to get into this, how much money do you think they have to put into it right away? Because you don't have to go brand new. You don't have to go top of the line to get into it. But what do you think? If somebody wanted to get into this, what would it cost them? Because I'm guessing it's not that crazy expensive.
Your biggest thing would be finding a sled because we even go as far as we have a helmet and a tech vest or safety gear you can borrow until you get going on it. So, you know, whether you're $1,500 to $2,000 on, you know, they've went up through the roof, and then, you know, take $200, $300, $400 to race prep it to get it up to where you should be, but then you can always build from there. And a lot of it is time, making sure everything is true. And
Right.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go back to you now, Cerissa, your older sister. I heard she drives a yellow snowmobile. Is that right?
Yeah.
What in the world is happening there?
I have no clue.
Is she pretty good?
Kind of.
Kind of. Are you better?
Depends on the day.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
if she can stay on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Do you have problems falling off once in a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in.
All in or nothing. Win it or lose it, right?
Basically.
Now, do you guys ever have little? Do you elbow each other or give each other a hard time about her driving a skidoo and you driving a ditch pickle?
All the time.
All the time. And who usually wins those arguments?
Mainly me.
Okay, so I'm guessing at the end of a race day, you just say, well, you can say all you want, but look who won.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How many races have you won in your career? Do you have any idea?
No. I won 5 nationals, and then how much would you say?
In just snow,
Yeah.
I would say 40 or better.
Wow. So when you say nationals, where do they hold these events?
Anywhere and everywhere.
Yes, what's the farthest you've gone to race a snowmobile?
Sioux Falls.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad, I guess. So do you have the fancy enclosed trailer and all that stuff? And I mean, you look the part like a pro racer?
Yep.
Oh, wow. This would be so cool. Why didn't they have this stuff when we were kids, right?
I don't know.
Okay, here, I'm going to go through my questions here. What do you think is the most popular sled with these kids here in this 286 Snow Series?
A 200.
200?
Has grown like huge.
I didn't even know there was such thing. I thought they went from the 120s and then they went to like the 340s or 440s or whatever, but now they make a 200.
They came out in 18, and everybody, if there's one up for sale, they're gone.
Really?
Immediately. Yep.
So do they even make the 120s anymore?
Yep.
Oh, they do?
Yep.
Okay. I tell you what, we're just going to take a short little break here. Snirty Thursday with Chad and Cerissa Blessum. We're going to be right back. We're talking about the 286 Snow Series. But right now, I want to talk about something else. You know, life doesn't seem to ever slow down. Everything needs to be done like right now or yesterday. Well, when it comes time for an oil change, stop into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. You know, most of their oil changes are done within 15 minutes. I was in there a couple weeks ago. I don't even think it took that long. And they do more, too. Tranny and coolant flushes, tire rotations, batteries. Now, when I went in to get my last oil change, they also topped off all my fluids. They told me what they topped off. They checked my tires, told me about those, my battery, lights, wipers, cabin air filter. And another cool thing about Valvoline Instant Oil Change, you get discount for fleets. And if you're in the military, make sure you stop in because they'll give you a discount too. They can text and email invoices and coupons. And if you mention Grand Forks Best Source when you get your next oil change, they'll knock $10 off the bill. How about that? Valvoline Instant Oil Change, they are open 7 days a week. No appointment needed. I just drive right up. I've never had to wait ever. They're open 7 days a week. You got pickup and delivery available if you live in Grand Forks. Stop in, check it out for yourself. It's a lot quicker than anywhere else. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, complete oil change, and so much more. 3325 South 38th Street, or you can call them up, 701-780-8462. But make sure you tell them that Grand Forks Best Source sent you. Now, if somebody wants to get into this race, well, first off, into this series, how many races do you run in, say, like this coming season?
So we're going to have 7 full weekends and then 2 weeknights that we're going to try.
Oh, okay. And how far do you travel with the series?
Fargo, Perham, Fertile, Ada, and Findlay.
Okay, so Perham's probably the farthest drive. Was it maybe 2.5, 3 hours to get to Perham? 3 hours maybe?
Couple from here, yep.
Yeah, that's not bad at all, is it?
No.
And you know, and we were talking about this before we went on air, and this is what I hear with the dirt track racing world all the time, is it's more, it turns into where you all kind of are like a family.
Yep.
You meet so many friends that become lifelong friends. And you know what? You might be pitted next to somebody that could be your enemy on the racetrack, but if you ever have a problem, it seems like there's never a problem getting help. Is it the same way with the snowmobile world?
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people that come try it can't believe the amount of help that there is and how friendly people are. But, you know, like I tell them, you're together with a lot of like-minded people, so you co-mingle like right away. And very rarely do we have a bad impression, you know. So it's a lot of fun in that way. The kids have built lifelong friends. We have, and I enjoy hanging out with like race friends more than older friends that I had because I have so much more in common.
Yeah, and you know, I used to be that guy. Winter used to be my very favorite time of the year. It's not anymore, but there's so many people that, especially around here in the tundra, you know, it's winter, I'm staying inside, I'm not doing nothing, I'm just going to hole up for 5 months. Get out and do something. Even if you're not going to race, go watch it. I mean, especially with snowcross, you can watch the whole thing. Man, I think it's just awesome. Now I forgot what the heck I was going to say here. If you were going to get going and you got the sled, you got everything going, how much does it cost to race per event? And do you guys hand out trophies and things like that?
We have a plaque that you get if you get in the top 3. We only do the top 3. And it's $5 a head to get in. It's $40 for your first class and $20 after that.
Oh, okay. I think we might have a video. See if Katie's here. All right. I think I got to turn this up. Let's see here. I think we got Cerissa Blessum in action. Watch this. So was that you, the first one over?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, the first one.
The first one? Yeah.
In front of the players.
Oh, there's more. Wow. That's pretty cool. I would imagine in snowcross, it's very important to get the whole shot.
Very.
Do you practice that a lot?
Kinda.
Now, when you're going to go out and ride, you know, guys, they'll test and tune or do whatever, but the thing with snowmobiles or motocross, it's just seat time. How do you train for this stuff? How do you train for the upcoming season? I mean, granted, you're young enough, you probably don't have to worry about it too much, but do you just ride as much as you can on your off time also? Or do you have like a test track set up or anything? Or how do you train and practice and also work on your sled and get it dialed in right?
Well, my dad works on my sled. All I do is ride it. Like every Wednesday last year, we'd have practice at our house.
Okay, so do you tell them like anything that maybe needs to be tweaked? Do you tell them how it feels? Because, you know, you ride a sled long enough, you can start to feel it in your body, what it's doing to you. Are you to the point now where you can relay that to him saying, well, you know, it's a little squishy coming off of this jump. It maybe doesn't turn right in this turn. Or does he just watch you and fix it on his own?
Both. Mainly me, though. Sometimes him.
Okay, when are you going to start wrenching on your own sleds?
I have no clue.
As long as he's willing to, you're probably not.
Yeah.
Great.
That's a good
I
answer.
enjoy it. So lucky for her.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is, too, what's nice about snowmobile racing compared to dirt track racing, you don't need a huge shop. You don't need a lift. Well, a lift is fine, but you don't need the big car lift. You don't need all of this room, the huge trailers, all of that stuff. I mean, you can run a race team through your garage.
Right.
And that's got to be nice, especially when you can do it with your kids.
Right. That's a lot of what I enjoy. I enjoy working on them. I enjoy watching them out riding. I mean, everything about it I enjoy, whether it's, and the big thing where we got into dirt was to stay in shape before snow, and then it kind of evolved into being more than we thought. But
Yeah, you bring up an old name, Tucker Hibbert. In my era, it was his dad, Kirk, Captain Kirk, they called him. But up until, I bet you it wasn't even 10 years ago, I still saw Kirk Hibbert at motocross tracks. There's a motocross track in between Plummer and Brooks, Minnesota. I don't know if you've ever raced over there, but it's not just a few miles from my hunting shack. So I'll go there quite a bit in the summer if I could and watch them. But that's what they say. They would get on the motocross bikes all summer long to stay in shape for the money, which for them was winter racing.
right,
So there's always ways to train, even if it's not that time of the year.
right.
And motocross is a great way to do it. How far do you have to travel to race the motocross?
Usually 2 hours is kind of the benchmark. We've went up to 4 or 5. I mean, that's just normal when you get into what we're doing.
Have you ever been to the track between Plummer and Brooks? It's
We're-
south of Thief River.
We go to the one right out of Brooks.
Yeah,
Like,
yep.
That's our home
Brooks
track.
International Speedway or
Yep.
whatever they call it.
Yep, with high flying Johnny Green.
Yeah. Well, my hunting cabin is right between Plummer and Brooks,
Okay.
off to the east a little bit. So it's and it's a nice track too. Johnny Green, man, you're talking going back in the day there.
yeah.
Guy does a great job. Now, when it comes to the 286 SnoCross Series, I'm sure you don't just do this all on your own, but you must have some sponsors out there.
Yep, we do.
And do you have them by any chance?
I do. I'll have to. We've took on quite a few. We've had people that come up to us. We've been really fortunate. Christian Brothers have been with us since the beginning.
That's a big name in snowmobile
yep.
racing.
That's what we consider our home track and probably always will be. All Finish is new to the game this year. He started up a race team and he has a huge facility there that we're going to get to use. Finley Motors, Christian Casey Motorsports, Knife River Materials, Hefty, Hillside Lifts out of Perm, RZS, Brault Construction, U Motors, Olson Brothers, Northern Crankshafts out of Thief,
Yep.
Aggressive Towing and Recovery, Devil's Lake Marine, and Devil's Lake, that's where the Skidoo part comes from, and my wife works there. And
Oh,
they've
okay.
been really good to work with. Taggart Construction, Construction Engineers right out of Grand Forks here. Anderson Brothers, Surface Specialists, Rock Speed FX, All Finish Racing, and Dakota Cat.
You know, when you have potential sponsors coming up to you looking to spend money, that means you must be doing something right.
I would have to think so.
Yeah, and that's a great thing.
Yep.
I want to ask you this, Cerissa. Who's your favorite snowmobile racer of all time?
Probably Blair Morgan.
Blair Morgan. I don't know why I was thinking you were probably going to say that. What about Tucker Hibbert?
That too.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say you.
Should have said me.
Have you ever got to meet any of these guys?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Because they're just normal people, aren't they? I mean, you see them on the X Games and you see all this stuff here, but you get down and you sit down and talk with these guys. They're just normal guys that are really good at what they do.
For sure.
Yeah, and can you picture the day when you're going to be on national television and you're going to be signing autographs and there's going to be posters made of you? There probably already is, but have you ever thought about that? How long do you want to keep doing this?
Until I can't.
Until you can't. That's a great answer. Or until dad can't afford it anymore.
Yeah.
So when you're done with school, do you have plans? Have you started thinking about that yet? I mean, you're only 14 years old, but have you thought about what you want to do when you are done with school, college, any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Be a cattle livestock agent.
Oh, wow. That is
Bizarre.
bizarre, he says. What made you want to go into that field?
Watching Yellowstone.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you know what? There could be some other shows that you could have picked a job that they're doing, and you probably picked a better one than those. When is the first race?
Yeah, we're November 20th and 21st, I believe, if we get enough snow made by then. Yep.
Okay, so now when you say made,
Yep.
here's the thing. Let's all face it. The last 15 years, 20 years, I mean, it gets to the point where there's not enough snow.
Right.
You see it every year, races being canceled because there's not enough snow. But now more and more people are making snow, and this is something they could do with a snowcross track.
Yep.
Ice ovals is a little easier because you just need cold weather and water. But when it comes to snowcross, it's in a smaller facility, so you can make the snow. And they're doing that more and more all the time now, aren't they?
They are, and we actually got roped into doing it last year because of COVID and the pandemic. We would usually start off in Fertile, and it wasn't looking like any light at the end of the tunnel. And we knew we wanted to race, so we went out and bought guns, and we actually made snow and had a couple of races in our backyard.
So when you say guns, that's a snowmaking machine. I'm
Yep.
taking it. Those can't be cheap.
We got pretty lucky, and my wife called around every ski hill in the country. And Alexandria got back to us, Andes, and they had a couple older ones that we got into for pretty reasonable. They weren't high tech by any means, but they worked.
So how long would it take for you to make a track? Say it's just dirt, and you're going to make a track. You got a race coming up. How long does it take you to make a track raceable and ready to go?
If you had good weather, like snowmaking weather,
The snow stays.
it would be at least 9 or 10 days to get enough snow to, like, if you could go every night for a full shift.
So do you have to keep moving it around all the way around the track, or how does that work?
Depends on your wind and
Sure. Oh, sure.
so many variables. I mean, like I thought, and everybody does, you just plug them in and you make snow, and it's nowhere near like
Not that easy, huh? But so you guys probably won't run into any problems with lack of snow? Or I suppose it could still happen. You can make all the snow you want, but if it's 40 degrees outside, it's going to turn to dirt.
Yep. As long as we can cool off, we can have a race, we'll make snow. That's a good thing about North Dakota. It will eventually get cold.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So we will be racing eventually, and it might not be as early as we would like, but we will. And we're lucky with Fargo. They'll make a bunch of snow there.
Oh, sure.
Christian Brothers are going to be up and rolling yet this year, so we'll have 2 guaranteed for sure. It's kind of what I like to go by.
Right. I want to ask Cerissa, what's your favorite race of the year? What's the favorite race of the year, and what's the favorite race you've ever been to?
Probably Fertile is one of my favorites, and then, one of my favorite tracks to go to. My favorite was at my house.
Okay. Favorite was at your house. That way you can just go in and use the bathroom at your own house and go in and make yourself a sandwich in your own house, or just because it was a good track? Both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
It was nice and warm.
Oh, I suppose. It's funny because I'm used to being in the pits at a dirt track now, and guys get out of the car soaking wet. Right. But when I raced snowmobiles, I always wore leather, and I always took the liner out of my jacket, and you would be amazed at how soaking wet you were when you got off that snowmobile. You don't think it's 30 below zero when you're racing, do you?
No, it's like 100 degrees.
Yeah, once that green flag drops, it's like, because I remember when they were coming out with the new the Gore-Tex gloves back in my last few years there, and you'd get done, because I never used hand warmers either, but you'd get done and you'd try to pull your gloves off, and of course they'd come off inside out because your hands were sweating so bad. But it could be 40 below zero out, and you're still going to sweat like you wouldn't believe, because I think I heard this once before. As far as using the most muscles in your body per sport, the most physically demanding, for some reason, I think soccer came up number 1, but motocross was number 2, because you use every muscle in your body, and snowcross is the same way, because a lot of people don't realize this, but you have to use your body as also kind of a shock absorber. You have to know how to land and hit those jumps, and every single muscle is being used. Do you ever feel like when you get done with a race that you have just been whooped, beat up, and here you go crawl in the corner now?
Every time.
But it's a good feeling though, isn't it?
Just like the soreness isn't the good feeling. But other than that, it is.
Yep, when you earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait for more Snirty Thursdays. This is going to be a good time. If somebody wants to get in to this 286 Snow Series, who do they contact? What do they need to do? Because I'm hoping a few more people will see this show and hopefully contact you guys. And because I talk to people all the time that don't know how to get their kids into it.
Right.
And at the last couple of years, I have no idea. I'd either steer them towards Doogie or somebody else. But
Right.
if somebody wants to get involved in this, what do they need to do?
Just get a hold of me or my wife. Our number is on our website there, and I can walk you through. We really try to keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. People get scared away because you throw a rule book at them and everything they have to have for safety up to snowmobile, and it's daunting.
You know, safety has come a long way from back in the day. I can remember the old days, the I-500. Guys would actually duct tape the throttles, or they'd put a rubber band on them. Guys were beat up. The helmets were crappy. They didn't have the chest protectors or any of that kind of stuff. Nobody was wearing leather or anything. But safety has really come a long way, because there's going to be the parents like my mother. I talked to her the other day, and she knows what I'm into, but she says these people that have their kids racing go-karts and motorcycles and snowmobiles when they're little kids, that's just ridiculous. That's like, you know, you're beating up your... No, it's not. I mean, believe me, it's no more dangerous than playing hockey or football or anything like that. I mean, you get the chance of getting run over, but it's actually fairly safe, especially if you know how to ride.
Right. I get in that argument all the time with people because they say that right away, and I'm like, well, watch the ambulance at a football game or anywhere. They're running there too. I mean...
Yep, and it's not like you're forcing your child to do this.
No.
If they said, Dad, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm guessing you would say, that's fine.
Right.
Have you ever thought about, I'm not going to do this anymore, like after a bad wreck?
No.
Just rub it off, wipe it off, put a little snow on it, and you're good to go for the next race, right?
Basically.
That's how that's a racer mentality right there.
Right.
I'd love to hear that. 14 years old, and you're the GOAT already. So what is the next step for this year? What will you be racing?
The Pro-Am Women's.
Okay, and does it get any higher than that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your goal?
Go Pro.
Go pro. So you can be on TV.
Yeah.
You can race in Glendon and Fargo, and wow, that'd be cool. You ever been to a snow cross race at Buffalo River Speedway in Glendon?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cool because they got the air conditioning in the summer.
Yep.
And the heated, suites and the whole viewing box up there. And Jason Berg over there now at Buffalo River Speedway, him and that new crew, they do a great job. I don't know, is the big snow cross, it's either Fargo or Buffalo River this year. Have you heard?
Fargo.
They're going to be in Fargo this year at the Speedway there.
Same track that we're going to be running on there.
Okay.
Yep.
So are most of the tracks you run, are they like a 3/8 mile, quarter mile, or do they get up to the big half mile?
It depends on the year and snow. Like last year we were short a lot of areas. We were in Crookston one year where the track was over a mile long.
Wow.
I would say a lot of them are between a quarter, maybe 3/8 of a mile. Mm-hmm. They're not very long, but we do a lot of lap time. I mean, 10 to 12 laps for your qualifier and then up to 15 for the final.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So when you were growing up, you were in snowmobiles when you were growing up too?
Yep.
Who was your idol as far as racing goes?
Morgan.
It was, huh?
Yep.
What's the deal with Blair Morgan and you guys? Just because he's got pretty blonde hair or what?
The real GOAT.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Him and Hibbert anyway.
Yeah. And that Tucker Hibbert, it actually surprised me when he just said, I've had enough.
Yep.
He was still pretty young.
Yep.
I still remember the first X Games when he whooped up on the old man. And the kid, he was probably not much older than you. I think he was maybe 16, something like that, when he won his first X game. But look where it took him.
Right.
I mean, people might not think there's a future in snowmobile racing, but yeah, tell that to Blair Morgan and tell that to Tucker Hibbert and Kirk Hibbert and all of these guys. I got together. It was the World of Outlaw show this year, and a bunch of the old Hall of Famer snowmobile racers were in town. Arctic Cat brought some guys up there. And, of course, I got wind of it right away. And so we got rained out that night, so I went and met these guys all at a bar here in Grand Forks, and I tell you what, I had such a good time talking about way back in the day. I mean, all the way, I hung around with guys that were winning world championships in the 500 and stuff when I was just a kid. My dad hung around with these guys, so I've been part of snowmobile racing my entire life, but things have changed so much, and the snowcross is definitely the way to go, especially for the fans, but what would you tell somebody right now who's never been to a snowcross race and they're thinking, you know what, I kind of like this Cerissa. She seems like she's pretty cool. I want to go watch her race. What would you tell somebody that's never been to a race that says, I want to go watch you race? What would they be seeing?
A lot of action.
A lot of action. You ever rub somebody out going into turn one?
No.
No?
Well, not on purpose.
Not on purpose.
Sometimes
Okay. I was just going to say that. Has anybody ever rubbed you wrong?
Yeah,
Yeah? You ever pay back?
kind of.
Yeah? Yeah? You ever get in an argument with anybody after a race?
No, just like Gavin, which is like my brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you can do that anytime, right?
Yeah.
Does he race too?
Yeah.
Yeah? How old is he?
10
9
now.
or 10.
Okay, okay. So is he a goat yet?
No.
No. How about your older sister?
No.
No.
She'll never be.
Really?
Yeah.
You think she's watching?
Hopefully not.
You're an awesome interview. You know that? When I found out you were 14, I'm thinking, oh boy, we've had 14-year-olds in here before, and they don't talk very much, but you're really good. And here's the thing. If you keep doing this and doing as good as you have, and you keep progressing the way you are, you're going to be in front of the media a lot. You're going to have a microphone shoved in your face a lot. You're going to have your picture taken a lot. Are you ready for all of that? Because you're pretty photogenic.
She got a little bit of it last year, and it was hard to hear where we were. Mm-hmm. You know, so when they would go to interview her, she would. What?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is kind of hard around motors running all the time, but man, I wish you all the luck in the world this year. And gosh, I tell you what, Chad, thanks for coming in, because we'll probably see if we can't get you guys on the show again this winter once the season gets rolling. Again, website
286 SnoSeries at .com.
All right, 286 Snow Series. I think I got it right here, too.
Yep.
Or if you didn't catch that and you want to find out more, I've got the phone numbers and all of that stuff here. Man, I tell you what, Chad and Cerissa Blessum, thank you guys so much for coming
Thank
in.
you.
286 Snow Series first race is when?
November 20th and 21st, weather permitting.
And that is where?
Fargo.
Fargo, North Dakota. There you go. Go check them out, the 286 Snowcross Series. All right, Chad and Cerissa Blessum, thanks for coming on our first edition of Snirty Thursday. Big shout out going out to Rumor Sports Bar and Casino. They always bring you the dirty / Snirty Thursdays. Man, if you're into sports, you're going to love Rumor Sports Bar and Casino, because it is wall-to-wall TVs. And when you go in there, everybody loves sports. You're going to be able to watch them. They got the NHL package. Catch the UND Fighting Hawks. They're always on the TV. Not to mention home of the world-famous Beer Tower. Man, I love that place. And you know what? Yesterday, $3 pounders all day. They've got $6 express lunches. They've got lunch and dinner specials. Fiesta Friday is coming up. Tuesdays, they got the $5 boneless wings or traditional. Domestic leaders on sale, Goose, Crown, Patron, all of that stuff. I love the place, and I love the fact that it's right across the hall. Rumors Sports Bar and Casino. Thanks to BT and the gang over there for bringing you this Snirty Thursday, all right? Hey, by the way, next week, River City Speedway NOSA Sprint Car Champ Austin Pierce will be back on the show. Tomorrow, be tuning in, the Berkshire Hathaway podcast coming up, and at 11 o'clock, the Best Forking Sports Arena Sports Show is coming your way. Hey, everybody, remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone, and we are now on Rumble. We know the Grand Cities is a pretty cool place. Grand Forks' best source, giving it an identity again.